Dear attendees, let me present you a report on the topic Gamification in the process of studying logical operators on the Minecraft EDU platform. Game techniques have always been used in school education. Testing exams, the transition from class to class, final testing, the elements of the game are present, but they are not always effective. The problem is that classical educational methods often ignore the simple but rather important fact. Learning should bring joy and satisfaction, and it should be interesting. It is known that the human brain is set on positive, meaning that when instead of fighting boredom there are positive emotions, the information is absorbed better. The main objection of the game techniques is the attitude to mistakes. At school, teachers always focus on mistakes, but rarely praise the right answers or decisions. Fixation on mistakes leads to the fact that students focus more on grades than on knowledge. In computer games, on the other hand, mistakes are welcomed and are the main tool for success. For example, the game Angry Birds, which was at least once played by all modern children, clearly demonstrates how with each failure the player experiences the new options for successfully achieving the goal. Game is one of the ways of motivation, development of logical thinking, but it is not a universal, undisputed myth. Gamification will not work without high-quality educational content. One of the games that has become very popular among children and teachers is Minecraft. Minecraft is a virtual community where players can roam freely and interact with the world made from blocks. Since its release in 2011, the game has become a cultural phenomenon. More than 200 million units were sold worldwide as for May 2020. Due to such success, a special version for learning, Minecraft Educational Edition, was released. The educational and game process, with the help of Minecraft EDU, is built on the following structure. The teacher controls the virtual map where the students play. The teacher can integrate the necessary lessons and tasks into this card. In order for teachers not to do their unnecessary work, the game offers a rich library of previously created worlds, as well as the development of previously created lessons. We explored a virtual learning environment created by Minecraft EDU and its practical application on the example of the topic logical operators. Not only the paper sources of information, but also working digital models are necessary for the better understanding of a training material. In this case, it is better to use a virtual learning environment, which is in fact a virtual world where the most of modern children feel at home. Educational training programs for future teachers of mathematics, physics, and computer science do not contain educational components that form competencies in the use of serious games in professional activities. However, elements of such trainings should be included in the educational components, taking into account the sectoral focus of training. Our research topic logical operators is related to such educational components as mathematical logic, algorithm theory, discrete mathematics, programming, teaching methods, etc. The inclusion of the elements of gamification in the educational components mentioned earlier will lay the foundation for further application of gamification in professional activities. To do this, you must use any opportunity. In our opinion, such opportunities include visual materials for lectures, practical tasks with elements of gamification, independent work performed in game environments, laboratory work on teaching methods. Particular attention should be paid to the training of future teachers regarding the knowledge and skills of using serious digital games in education in the discipline of methodology of teaching in the fields of knowledge. It is necessary to study the stages of organization of educational activities on the basis of serious games not only in theory but also in practice, such as determine the target audience of educational content, set a learning goal, create a structure of educational content, determine which elements can be gamified, implement the selected elements through a digital game, apply the developed educational content, perform current and final control over the educational process, perform an analysis of the results. At the beginning of our study, a survey was developed and conducted among first-year students of the state higher educational institution Donbas State Pedagogical University, who study in the educational programs of secondary education, mathematics, physics, computer science, or their combination with other educational programs. Respondents were asked the following questions, which we can see on this slide. 67 students took part in the survey. The results of their answers are presented in Table 1. The results show that most students are not familiar with the concept of gamification, although they are ready to learn by playing. Most respondents were willing to learn and support new forms and means of learning and do not understand the restrictions on the use of mobile devices that can be useful in educational activities. See Figure 1. Thus, we conclude that such a new form for Ukraine as gamification of educational process is a promising tool for improving the quality of education. For successful gamification, you need to follow the basic stages of creating a game mechanism. It is important to gradually adapt teachers and students to the principles of gamification while studying in the free economic zone. Consideration of methods of using digital game content, creating a library of digital electronic educational resources for further use is an all-new field for research and development. Thank you for attention.